We are going to make BF soup. BF soup is not any special soup. It's washing soup, the normal washing soup that we know. The only difference here is that it is white and it is in a square shape. That's from the manufacturers that created the BF soup. They use white color and they also use white mold to mold their soup. So it's not anything different from washing soup. It's the same thing that you will see other soups with different color, other washing soups. So it's the same thing. The only difference here is that when you are using it, use an oil which is plain. The oil should be white. If you use palm oil, then you can't make BF soup. If you use palm kernel oil, you can't make BF soup. So this is the oil that I'm going to use. I'm going to use coconut oil. And even the coconut oil is extra virgin coconut oil that I'm using here. You can use the normal coconut oil with very light color, the plain type. But I'm using extra virgin coconut oil because I want to achieve the white color of the BF soup. So this is it. And I'm also going to combine it a little with my shea butter. You can make it 100% coconut oil, or you can add shea butter. When you add shea butter to it, it helps in balancing the soup. Coconut oil is very harsh when you use it to produce soup. I'm going to use glycerin for moisturizing. I'm also going to use my polysorbate to help as a fixative. And this is the extra virgin coconut oil that I used. I'm also going to use perfume. I will mix the polysorbate with the perfume and also titanium dioxide. It is a white color. It's not anything special. It's just a white color that you can use to make your soup. And it can also be used to make any product. And this is my lye solution. When I prepare my lye, I try to put it in a gallon and label it. It's very important for children not to, get in contact with it. You have to keep it at a safe place. So after mixing the lye and then with the caustic soda with the water, you have to store it till the next day to cool it down, because we are making a cold processed soup. And it's very important to reduce the heat or the temperature of the lye before you can use it to make your cold processed soup. So one thing about coconut oil is that it does not trace fast if you use it to make soup. It takes time to trace. So suppose that you are using stick blender, then you have to, when you stick blend it, it will just trace fast. So that's the caustic soda or the lye solution that I mix. I let it cool down before using it. And if you want to add soda ash, because you can add soda ash to any washing soap. Maybe you want to add soda ash for extra foaming. You can just add the soda ash to the water, the caustic soda water, or you can take some of the water and then mix it with the caustic soda, with the lye soda ash before you add it to your main oil. So this is the shea butter that I've already melted. I've allowed it to cool down. And the next stage is that I'm going to mix my titanium dioxide with a little oil to make sure I get rid of all the lumps for it. In order not to make the video too long, I will just pause and then mix the color well and pour it into the main oil for you to see. And also you can stick blend it here. So now after mixing it, I'm adding in my shea butter, my melted shea butter. There's some particles in it, so I want to get rid of it, so I'm sieving it. I've allowed the shea butter to cool down before adding it to the coconut oil, because I don't want any extra heat in the process, to heat up the whole soup process. Once my lye solution is cool, then the water too The oil too should be cold. So after adding the shea butter, I went ahead to add in the titanium dioxide mixed with the oil. You add it and you stir. Some of these colors, they come in a form of lumps. You see some lumps in it, so you have to get rid of it before you add in your lye. Otherwise, you will see some color somewhere in the soup, which is not presentable. So this applies to any other soap that you are making. You have to try and mix your color with oil, and then make sure it is well mixed before you go ahead and you add it to your main one. This is the glycerin that I'm going to add. I've already explained to you the measurement that I'm using. I'm using this small bottle, which I've already explained to you. But try and buy your apparatus to make your soup. You need all those apparatus to enable you to make perfect soups. These ones are improvised. Scale is not expensive. This one, I think now it is 75 cedis or 50 cedis. You can get it depending on where you buy it. You have to buy the scale so that it will enable you to get an accurate measurement in your soap making business. That's why, since most of them or most of you will say you don't have scale, that's why I'm using improvised measurements to make it. So after mixing my color well, I then, this is my polysorbate, and then this is the perfume that I'm going to use. I've already measured it there. If you use 10% of polysorbate, then use 10% of perfume. If you use 30% of polysorbate, then you have to use 30% of perfume. In vice versa, the quantity will have to be the same. The polysorbate and then the perfume quantities will have to be the same to enable it to work as fixative. Don't take 2% of perfume and then 1% of polysorbate. It won't complete its work. So I've already measured it, 30 ml each, and then I'm mixing it together so that I will be using it to make my soup. I'm adding it to the oil mixed with the titanium dioxide, and then you have to stir. Most of the time I go through this process because I don't want to forget anything in my production. Because sometimes if you say I'm leaving the perfume, I'll add it later, I'm leaving the color, I'll add it later, you might do it and forget. So I normally like adding everything first before my lye will come in. Because once the lye gets in, then the soap has started, sapodifying. So, you have to be fast with it by adding the rest of the ingredient. And also checking for the temperature of the lye solution and then the oil. It's advisable to have a gun thermometer. If you don't have a gun thermometer, then you can use your hands like I'm teaching you or showing you in the video. You use your hand to tap on the oil, and then you also use the same to tap on the lye solution to make sure that the heats are equal or they are almost equal before you can combine them. Mind you, this is a cold process and not hot process. So the temperatures should be at least near equal or they should be equal before you combine the two. I'm using my stick blender to stick blend the color more, even though I mixed it with small oil. I just want to be sure there are no lumps under the oil. So I'm using my stick blender to stick blend it a little. If you don't have a stick blender, then you can use your wooden spatula or the normal turning stick or turning rock stick or anything that you can use to stir. You can use it. You can even use your own spoon, but mind you, the spoon you can't use it again. And even the lye solution will discolor the spoon that you are using. So after stick blending the color and then the oil a little, I will then go ahead and add in my lye solution. There are some debts underneath, so I just want to sieve it to make sure that I don't introduce any dirt into the soup that I'm making. So after that, you just have to stir immediately. Because I added shea butter to the coconut oil, it will help it to trace fast. Other than that, if you are using only coconut oil to make your soap, then it takes longer time to trace. So then be patient when it happens. That way, just be patient with the soap and keep stirring. If you think you are tired of stirring, then you can leave it just for about 1 minute. You leave it 1 minute, then you come back and you stir. By the time you realize your soap has already traced. Now the soap has traced. It has traced very well, and look at how smooth and fine it looks. It all touches the stick blender that I used to enable it to trace fast. So you just have to make sure you stir it well to be well mixed. Then you pour it into your soap mold. But mind you, before you go through up to this time, by then your soap mold is ready. It's already prepared. It's not at this time that you will leave the soap to go and prepare your soap mold. You will come back and meet your soap hard. So my soap mold, as you can see, is already prepared there. So I will just stir it a little. I have my perfume and everything inside. Stir it a little and then you pour it. If you are making it for commercial purpose, then don't use this kind of soap mold. This is silicone mold. If you need the commercial cutter, you can get some from me. I sell some. If you need the hydrometer too, you can get some from me. I also sell some. But for now, I've run out of this silicone mold, which I will not even advise a commercial producer to use silicone molds to produce their soap, because it's expensive and you have to buy a lot to be able to complete your batch or do in large batches. So I'll just prepare the top of the soap and then cover it, spray the top, cover it till the next day. Then I will unmold it for you to see. If you need any training tool on detergent and other hair and skincare products, just contact me on my number on the screen. You will get it. You can also get my number, even if it's not on the screen, then you can even get it at the description box. So this is the next day. The soap is already hard, and then I've removed it from the mold, and it's already hard. Even though I did not use silicate, it's still hard because of the method that I use. You can, all these silicate and the rest are all costs, so you can always do without it. Some people, I don't know why they always want to invite extra costs to their production. If you know the formula that you are making, silicate with or without silicate, the soap will perform its function. Why do you worry yourself to add the silicate? You can skip it and then complete your soap production, and even this will help you to sell at a lower price. Mind you, we are in serious competition with a lot of producers. So thank you for watching, and thank you too for being patient with me.